If you're over 30, especially for women, struggling with fatigue and weight gain that's unexplained, mood swings, you just don't feel like yourself, or something that we hear a lot of women say is, I just feel like my hormones are off, then this video is going to help you understand what's causing all that underneath the surface here, to get to the bottom of what's causing these mood swings and the exhaustion and just not feeling like yourself anymore, right? To get back to feeling in control, feeling confident, light, feeling like yourself again. So if you have any of these symptoms, then your hormones are sending you a signal. Okay, and there are 4 hormone patterns that we see in women over and over again. And once you know which one is leading the chaos, you can stop treating symptoms and finally heal from the root. So if you're exhausted or inflamed, moody, if you're bloated or just gaining weight for no reason, then your hormones are sending you a signal. Okay, these are the 4 hormone patterns that we see over and over again in women. And once you know which one is leading the chaos, then you can stop treating symptoms and finally heal at the root. Okay, and listen, most women don't just have one, right? It's usually 2 or 3 or more, some combination, but there's always a starting point, and that's what this is about. All right, the first type is lagging liver. It's a sluggish liver. Your liver is like the filtration system of your hormonal system. Okay, it clears out hormones that have been used and metabolizes them, especially estrogen. And it filters everything from toxins to excess cholesterol. And so toxins can come from things like plastics that you use in your everyday life, like a plastic bottle, or even products that you use at home, cleaning products, personal care products. A lot of these contain xenoestrogens or other hormone disrupting chemicals that need to be cleared from the body. But when the body is overwhelmed by these things, because we use these types of products every day for weeks and months and years, then the liver can become congested. And when it's overloaded, it becomes kind of like a clogged sink here. Okay, so the sink is supposed to drain water through the pipe, but when it gets over time, gunk builds up and blockage occurs, water can't move out. Okay, similarly, when your liver is clogged, your liver system is clogged like the sink, then the estrogen is not going to be able to enter your intestines here and out through the stool. That's not going to happen. Instead, it's just going to recirculate around the body. Okay, so that estrogen recirculation leads to hormonal symptoms. Okay, so that's kind of a separate story. We'll get there later too, but it's this liver in this case that is the main issue here. And this can cause symptoms like heavy periods or acne. Also causes digestive dysfunction because the liver is part of your digestive system, so causes bloating to occur. And since your liver processes a lot of your hormones, also mood swings cause your mood to fluctuate from low to high to stressed to not stressed and can drive you crazy. Okay, so now when estrogen builds up, it triggers the next 2 patterns too. So this is often one of the first dominoes. The next type is tired thyroid. And your thyroid gland, it's in your neck. It controls really the pace of everything in your body. And so it controls how fast you think, your digestion, how your body burns fat, building good healthy hair, skin, and nails, and feeling motivated, everything. But when it slows down, kind of like our turtle friend here, you might feel kind of like him sometimes, just kind of slow and mopey and just not acting at the speed you can operate. And so, things like energy disappears, feeling fatigued, and like right here, just like your batteries are operating on empty. It also controls your body temperature, and so you might feel colder in general, or if you have cold hands and feet, this is a sign. You might have some hair loss that you notice, hair falling out. Could be brain fog, just feeling foggy-headed, unable to focus, just not thinking clearly, not able to focus and be productive at work or at home. And weight gain is another one too, because thyroid hormones are supposed to be fat-burning hormones, but when your thyroid hormones are low, you're going to store fat. It's going to be more of a fat storage scenario. So the problem here is that most doctors are only testing for 1 or 2 markers here, and that's just not enough. That's why you might, or someone might say, well, my doctor told me that my labs are normal, that I'm fine, but I don't feel fine. Well, this is why, right? Because they're not testing nearly deep enough. But as you can see here, low thyroid function really causes system-wide issues. And this is super common, especially in women, and largely underdiagnosed for the reasons that we just discussed. Now this one is big, erratic estrogen. And so this is the roller coaster, where one week you're good, then the next you're down in the dumps, feeling like just depressed and lowly, crying over commercials. Then you're back to feeling happy, and then before you know it, you're irritable and frustrated, snapping at your kids or at your friends. You might feel bloated and angry, overwhelmed, all in the same day. Okay, it's not just emotions. This is your biology here. Okay, so estrogen is affecting your brain chemistry as it's shooting up and down, up and down. This especially happens for women in perimenopause or menopausal time. And it's affecting your neurotransmitters in your brain, which literally affect the way you think and the way you feel. It makes your body hold on to water. It regulates your blood sugar. And for some women, estrogen is too high. Right? Other women, it's kind of too low, or it spikes and crashes unpredictably. Right? Your liver, if you remember from before, if it's lagging, can't clear it. Now here's the part most people miss. This pattern doesn't just hit in your 30s or 40s, causing menstrual issues that we often see at that time of the month, right? Whether your estrogen is too high or too low, or it's swinging up and down. This whole thing intensifies during perimenopause and menopause because your body's normal supply of estrogen in the ovaries goes away at that point. And so your body's now adapting and trying to force the ovaries to produce more estrogen when it just really can't. And so it's flashing high levels, low levels, high levels, low levels. And that's that hard fluctuation that you feel. It's like trying to walk on a bridge while the supports are being pulled out from underneath one by one. So that's why you feel hot flashes and the night sweats. And there's brain fog. There's also vaginal dryness, which can cause issues with sex. There's trouble with sleep. Insomnia, not being able to fall asleep or stay asleep and just kind of get a good night's rest. The formation of fibroids is about estrogen levels. And then, of course, mood, feeling stressed or irritable and just constant anxiety. And so when your estrogen is not balanced, it's also going to drag your thyroid and adrenals down with it because all these organs are connected. Finally is drowsy adrenals. Now your adrenals handle stress. And cortisol is your stress hormone. That's what gives you fuel. But when you live in survival mode, pushing through, always people pleasing, caregiving nonstop, something we see a lot with women, that they're always taking care of other people, not themselves, then your system hits its limit. Okay, this is the woman who wakes up tired and crashes after lunch, then gets a second wind at 10 p.m. here, okay, feeling like you're on this empty tank pushing through all day, and waking up at 3 a.m. as well. So this happens. And so we have the fatigue, plus a second wind later on. There's anxiety that also leads to cravings. There's anxiety and brain fog. There's also cravings for salt. And about the insomnia here, there's a special pattern of insomnia where if you're waking up at 3 a.m., I'll show you why that's happening. Because cortisol, what's normally supposed to happen is that in the morning, your adrenals put out cortisol to kick your brain alert and be awake. It's a good stress, right? Yes, it's a stress hormone, but it's a good stress to make you alert and awake, and then it drops off by bedtime so you can go to bed. But in the early stages of adrenal dysfunction, what happens is that in the morning, you're feeling tired, exhausted. That's why this is nice and low. And then by the evening, here you are with that 10 p.m. second wind. Right? You have a burst of energy happening here. And this might also happen earlier in the morning around 3 a.m. because your body's not able to calm down then. It's in a reverse stress pattern. And so that's why this is happening. Your brain's tired but wired late at night when you should be calm and sleeping. And during the day, you don't have that energy that you need and that mental clarity. So this is all adrenal signaling, right? It's not just emotional stress. This stress pattern happens from inflammation and physical stress, physiological stress, from infections, also not eating in the best way for your body, and blood sugar swings. All of it weighs in your adrenals. This is the burnt out but still going kind of woman, right? Until at one point she just can't. So those are the 4 types. Do any of these sound familiar? For most women, it's not just one, right? It's a combination of 2, 3, sometimes even all 4 of these types to different degrees, right? Maybe you're tired thyroid with some drowsy adrenals, or a lagging liver that feeds into the erratic estrogen picture. As you saw, it's all connected. But one pattern is usually the loudest here, and when you target the root, everything else starts to stabilize. So instead of playing whack-a-mole with symptoms, take 60 seconds and get some clarity. We built a free 10-question quiz that helps you find out which hormone pattern is most dominant in your body right now. The quiz is totally free and the link is in the description below. So once you know your type, you'll get targeted recommendations, next steps, and how to start supporting your system from the root here. All right, and this quiz is meant to take the weight off your shoulders. So go ahead and take the quiz, see what kind of answers you get for yourself, and we'll see you in the next one.